So thank you very much for tuning in again to our online YouTube series. So this is the lovely Pavel, who is a test engineer at the STARS group. So I'm going to get straight into it. So can you tell me about your role in a sentence, Pavel?
Okay, so thank you for the invitation. So like you said, I'm a test engineer currently working for STARS group in the sports trading side of the business. Our team is building global risk monitoring tools that are used by various trading teams across the group. Now, depends on who you're asking. I'm also known as SEIT or QA engineer, or I even been called test lead, even though I'm the only tester in my team. Anyway, I like things simple. So when it comes to my role, I just like to be called tester, the tester. I'll probably get back to that later.
The tester, underlined, love it.
Yeah, that's really important. I like to stick to simple job titles.
Yeah. Lovely. So obviously I've known you for quite a while now. I know quite a bit about your career journey, but just for those who don't know, can you kind of tell us about why you got into testing in the first place?
So I have a passion for technology. I like breaking things, and I'm curious. I'm coming from a family of engineers, so becoming an artist definitely wasn't an option. Not to mention that that I don't have any artistic talent. So, no. A funny note in regard to my family is when I got my first tester role, I was really excited back then. And when I got to tell them, my mother was like, "That's wonderful, darling. So what are they going to test on you?" I was like, "No, Mom, it's the other way around. I'm doing the testing."
Oh, I love it.
It trusted me that much at that time. So
yeah. Oh, amazing. Perfect. So obviously, I know you're working as a test engineer at STARS now, and there's been quite a journey to get to that kind of point. I'd be interested to find out kind of what drew you to your role now.
That's a long one, but I'll make it short. So
cool.
So I have more than 7 years experience into tech. So years ago, back in Bucharest, Romania, I started as a video game tester. At that time, I just thought I'd get to play video games and get paid for it. It was nothing like that.
Just for those of you out there who want to be video games testers, you have to test, not just play.
That's the thing. You actually, after you get to work as a video game tester, you never get to play video games. So if you want to give up on video games, just get hired.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you're sick of it after that. So, the job was fully manual and barely touching the backend system. Tooling was also poor. In my opinion, video games are like a blend between comic books and software. It's nothing wrong working in this industry, but I just wanted to work on different kind of projects. Then I moved into a quality control tester role, which was basically what is called in UK junior or graduate role. This is where I got to work on business-to-business projects. This is where I learned that testing doesn't need to be only manual, and I've been introduced to Agile. Then I moved into a quality assurance engineer role, a more senior role, if you want. This is where I learned that testing should be done early and through the whole software development life cycle. Learning that process is very important, and Agile without Agile engineering is not Agile. That's why I moved into a dual role as both QA engineer and a Scrum Master. Then some years and successful projects later, I've decided to move to Leeds, UK.
Yay!
Yay, Leeds United. Worked for a while as a Scrum Master, realized that in UK the role has close to nothing to do with engineering. It shouldn't be that way, but this is a different talk. Let's stick to testing side. So I decided to move back into testing, and here I am working for STARS Group as the tester. Now, through my roles, I've been involved in basically everything, starting with video games, educational software, customer support software, remote control solutions, financial software, commercial websites, monitoring tools recently. Anyway, you name it, I've probably done it. Various operating systems and platforms, that's Windows, Mac, Linux, mobile, both Android and iOS, even some very nasty ones like Chrome OS, which anyway, and also web. I got to work with various people and teams, good or bad, from people that hold international tech patterns to teams that never heard of Agile. It's hard to tell what will happen next, but my career into tech will always be around testing and Agile engineering.
Yeah. Love that.
That was a bit long, wasn't it?
It was all right, don't you worry. Fab. So kind of just move. The kind of aim of this really is to kind of attract people into testing. So obviously you've got a really, really good background there. I'd be really keen to find out what do you think makes a good tester?
Curiosity and efficiency, on short. Now obviously I have to elaborate. So curiosity allows you to come with various cases and scenarios that are good in testing. Things like, what happens if I do that? It works, but what happens if I do this? What happens if 10,000 virtual users decide to query the shopping cart checkout service at the same time? That sounds like performance. You got the idea, that kind of
I get it, yeah.
Efficiency. Now, efficiency is a smart way of being lazy.
Right.
And this is where testing slides into things like a good test plan or automation or a good process. Without a good plan, you might be testing same thing over and over again and miss the bits that are actually broken. Without automation, you have to manually do the same cycles over and over again. That makes your job boring and time consuming. To avoid that, I have two rules. If I need to do the same thing more than once, I will automate it. And if same thing gets broken more than once, I'll add an automated test for it. These are the baselines for automating stuff, I would say.
Okay.
Now, the last bit, the process. Without a good process, you might test something that doesn't necessarily require testing at that time and skip the bits that require testing at the time. It's complicated with process, but they work hand in hand to me. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Lovely, lovely. So obviously, if we are talking to the next generation of software testers, what would be the one piece of advice you would give to someone who is considering a career in software testing?
This is a very good one, and I can talk about it all day. But I need to clarify a thing first. In my opinion, when it comes to testing discipline, there are two types of testers, good or bad. We seem to lack the middle. You don't find mediocre testers. Bad testers are usually people that just end up in this profession without any passion for it. People that just get to be tested just to move into something else, or people that just want to get into tech just because as users, they're able to find defects, and that makes them testers. Now, testing is much more than that. I won't go any further, you got the idea. For these kind of testers, just don't. Don't take the job seriously. You're waiting, you're waiting for what you might consider something better. Move out as quickly as possible, as you're putting a bad rep on the whole profession. Now, for people that want to be good testers, skill up. The era when testers were doing only testing, it's long gone. Now you're expected to work in cross-functional teams, know some coding, understand architecture, understand product, and so on. Again, testing starts early. 15 years ago, everybody was getting mad in automating everything. Now, all of that is possible, but is it really worth it? You don't need you don't really need to automate everything just to be sure a system works. So having testers that only do manual work and testers that only do automation was the wrong approach back then. These days, we're talking about efficiency, running automated tests as fast as possible and as often as possible, integrating every test suite in a CI, running performance tests in CI. I would say we're moving the CI era, if you like. And as a tester, in order to do all of that, you need to know a bit of everything and also master not only testing, but quality assurance. So you're supposed to be the tester.
The tester, love it. Fantastic. One thing that I really liked about you, what you mentioned there about, you know, kind of the good and bad testers, is that I think a good message to send out to those that are looking to get into testing is to research the career as much as you can. Like you say, if you don't want to go into something that you're not passionate about, find out as much as you can about it, and, you know, I guess find the passion for it before you take a step. Would you agree?
Totally agree. But anyway, in a way or another, this applies for other roles as well. But, from my experience as a tester, I work with people that dealt with really bad testers, and they heard, oh, you're the tester, oh, you're that guy, right? And no, I'm not that guy. Or am I supposed to be that guy? What do you know about that guy? You know? and also work with people that working before with really good testers, and they're like, oh, you're the new tester, you're supposed to do that, and that. I'm like, slow on a bit. I've just started. Yeah, it's, again, we are lacking the middle. You don't find mediocre testers. In other professions, you'll find mediocre people at your job.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic. Well, I mean, just to kind of summarize them.
Okay.
What would be, if you were to say one thing to the, you know, the next generation, what just a soundbite, what would be the one thing that you would say to somebody who is looking to get into testing as a summary?
Skill up.
Skill up.
Yes,
Love it. Love it. That's perfect. I think it really incorporates, you know, like what this is all about, really, you know. Find the passion. Testing is an amazing career to be in, you know, and I've worked in this industry for 3.5 years as a recruiter. I've spoken to some amazing people. It's such a great industry to be in. And, you know, Pavel, you are one of those people. So keep the flag flying for testing. Lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Pavel. And yeah, any questions that you've got for myself or Pavel about his journey, or anything, any advice or anything, just pop a message below, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you very much. Thanks, Pavel.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Loved it.